Okay, doing a match analysis for Revengeance XD. My boy here. Gonna watch a couple of games from tournaments and show him how to play against Jin.
Oh, that name.
Yeah, mute these guys because I don't like the commentary. Alright, round start. Jin just runs up hell sweeps. There's very little you can actually do. This is a very tough situation to deal with because you either just want to just backdash, which will get hit by that, or sidestep right. But if you time that incorrectly, it's still going to hit you. And then you can go for other options. But whenever he goes into extended, he's going to go into extended wave dashes later, which I'll touch on when we get there. Over here, I would have liked to see a delayed get-up timing because at that point he definitely has Oki. He's thinking of whatever he wants to do. And if you just take a ground roll and tech, it won't be that bad. The ground hit and tech, it won't be that bad. Right there, whenever you back rise, I tried to recreate this, I couldn't. It's not real if you just hold back. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. That is minus Zen 1-3 is mid-high and -9. So it's also very risky to duck because of the mid extension Zen 1-2. That wall splats, so you should be stand guarding it. So there, like a back one wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Probably something that is less than 19 frames though would be better because at that point he's just going to be flowcharting into something. Not blocking, most likely. Let's see. There he chooses to just 1+2, 12 frame mid. Realized it was his turn, so he's going to take it. Luckily he didn't get wall splat. Get plus frames. Okay, very important against Jin. When your back is against the wall, you always have to flash duck down forward 1-4 because it wall splats. The reward for them is so good that they eventually start going for it. But if you duck it, you get a launch. And plus, they don't have a very fast way to do a double mid after down forward 1. Well, one that gets a wall splat specifically. There, I actually forgot how long ago this was, but there you really needed to do his new wall sliding string down forward 2-1 for the extra damage. Because at this point, you have such a deficit that you need all the perfect punishes that you can get. Alright, so here, what you should really be doing is like looking for defensive habits because you're already at such a deficit. Like you should really be seeing what he does after the back one. Just back dashes. Alright, that's good information. So, being a short set, it's kind of hard, but you just need to make little notes of these things. And something that does show up later in the sets, that's very important, is to notice which way they sidestep against Brian. Because, I guess I'll pull this up now, because there's one very important reason why. Who do I have? Let's switch that around. So basically, when you sidestep against Brian in mid-range, you're trying to deal with one of two options. His soccer kick, or his back one. and they each deal with different options. Alright. So, if you're sidestepping right against Brian, you're always going to be hit by low soccer kick. But has a chance of making back one whiff. This can be remedied by doing a dash back one, but that adds startup to it. If you, on the other hand, step to your left, low soccer kick is basically always going to whiff. Even if you dash soccer kick, it sometimes misses. But back one is basically guaranteed to hit. I say that, but if you're doing anything before it, not letting them get a full step. Well, it's a lot more consistent this way, but it's not 100%. Okay. Back to the match.
It's like we saw with BMGF versus R, when you just blow somebody out for the first 10 seconds, they're gonna be like,
what just happened?
Alright. Probably the most important thing against Jin is that, except for in very specific situations, it's pointless to sidestep left against him. Because electric tracks that way, hell sweep tracks that way entirely. This 4-4-2 can be stepped, but it's also steppable to the right. His down forward 1 tracks whenever you step left, but not to the right. Down forward tracks both ways. Actually, let's check down back 4. And then the only other reason that you would step left against Jin is to avoid his up forward 2, which is a very good round ender. Alright, tracks to the left, tracks to the right really well. That one, that's very weird. So against this, if you sidestep right, which you normally would want to, you're just going to get hit by that. If you sidestep left, get an easy punish. I say that. Okay. So you see, but it's particularly in mid-range that you definitely want to step step right against Jin. Because this move is dumb. The thing is, against Hell Sweep is that if you're just sidewalking, it won't work. You have to time it with it. A bit. This move's so dumb. So it's going to come up a little bit later, but against extended wave dashing, I think it shows up right now. Let me just show you that first. And nah, just show it now, I guess, since it's already here. Against extended wave dashing, all those options from wave dash would be like Hell Sweep, also I need 4. Forward 2. Let's put them on the side. It's easier for me to do it on that side. has... Yeah, I suck. That move, forward 3, which only goes for when you know you're just sitting there and guessing between the Hell Sweeper, that move. And now for the crazy strats. We have that Wave Dash and Hop Kick, which is a completely hard read. That only works whenever people realize you're doing this, which is one of the best defenses against wave dash pressure. If you just see them moving, just down one. And the good thing about down one is that it leaves you at +6. Let me double check that. Down. See. Down. It's weird. Where are you? Down 1 + 2, down 4, down. Okay, yeah, it leaves you at +6. So, mechanic about down ones is that if you press forward, you'll recover in standing. So, for being at +6, let me double check the frames on these. What is forward 3? 4 + 3, 16 frames. So it would trade with jabs and then you get a counter at launch. Or say down 2. That would flat out beat it. That would be blown up by sidesteps though. But that's a very quick thing to react to. So if you see him wave dashing at you, if you just down 1, it hits and you press forward. That's uninterruptible. That trades and gives you a launch. Alright, so if we look at... Well, Jin doesn't go for this option too much, honestly. He goes for his other better options. Back to him just moving, wave dashing a bit. Moving a bit late. There, this is one of the most likely ones to blow you up, but if your back's not to the wall, it's not the end of the world. You get hit, but you get to roll back, you go back to neutral. He doesn't get any Oki out of it, which is very important. So, this is like one of the best options that it blows up. Sure, you can just do that, launch him easily for it. It's like a jet upper. Alright. Now, what would beat just doing down 1 would be wave dash hop kick. But this is like a level 2 option, as in they're not going to just start with this. But the good thing is that sidewalk right will beat this. Alright. Okay, we're good. Alright, going on to the rest of the match. So basically, unless you're already stuck in place, you have 3 options that you want to cycle through, but when defending against Jin from far away. Just keep on backdashing, sidewalk right, or down 1. And for sidewalk right, it's usually better to do sidestep blocks, because if you're just side walking right the entire time, it's not going to defend you from anything because it lets them realign, which is admittedly very hard to do. Alright, let's see where we were.
Like we saw with BMGF versus R, when you just blow somebody out for the first 10 seconds, they're gonna be like, what just happened?
Okay, let's check what the frames are on forward 3. How do they know this? Forward 3. Okay, it's 0. So, yeah, that wasn't bad.
It's gonna affect when you have all that fear of that runaway. It's like we saw with BMGF versus R, when you just blow somebody out for the first 10 seconds, they're gonna be like, what just happened?
But again, there it's better to sidewalk right because it beats more options.
That's gonna affect them for the rest of the entire set.
There, if you're already in full crouch long enough to get a Northern Cross, I would like to see a wall rising 1, but something's better than nothing there, definitely. Okay, there, that definitely should have been a forward 4-1 or a jet up. Yeah, 4-4-1 or a jet upper. Because if you whiffs 2-1-4, it's a lot of recovery. There, he called out your defensive buttons. The good thing about, say, like a duck jab down 1 would be that it recovers a lot faster. So it doesn't get blown up by that. There, yeah, that's fine, because technically you can tech roll, then block the mid, then duck the high, but it's not a situation you come across often. There, again, should have been a better punish. Alright, nice dash block. Ooh, that was... You just got robbed there. Okay, there it's hard because you're teching into it. Alright, so there it's too far for... There, I really don't like back 1 because when he does unblockable, he can cancel it, and that would beat it if he completed it. But you know what else would beat it if he completed it? Slidewalking. A lot less risk on it. So if they're doing like an unblockable, just wait for it to whiff, and because they can do mind games with it. Yes, you were to the back, but you had your back to the wall, but you had so much time that it would have... You would got out of it obviously no matter what. Back 1 there is just... It means one of the 2 options, not both. Okay, there you do notice that he's starting to sidewalk, so you do down 4-1, but it got robbed for some reason.
Come on, you think he didn't think about that before we got out of the car from Tucson? That's the second time I've seen him do that today.
There's kind of unfortunate.
Come on, you think he didn't think about that before we got...
So by this point you see that this guy just loves pressing buttons, dashing up in your face. There's 2 ways to beat this kind of person. 1, out monkey them, or 2, out footsie them by using movement, making them whiff punishing.
Out of the car from Tucson?
That's the second time I've seen him do that today.
Woo. Little drop. It was a weird distance.
Alright, nice little punish. Check. Okay, there. I don't like the forward 3 because you realize that he's not actually pressing buttons after getting hit by a soccer kick. He's trying to move or block. So maybe a throw or 1+2. Or, okay, the other big thing that you're missing from your gameplay right now is down back 3. Because down back 3 is amazing at, where is it? Down back 3 is amazing at catching side steps. Oh wait, why am I doing that? Let's get some sound. And normally a move like this would be launch punishable by worse characters, but Brian's pretty good. Okay, so it does catch. Okay, down 4. Then that's interesting. So there, it looks like you just have to pay attention to which way they're sidestepping you, and then use the according low. Because whenever I tested it before, down back 3 was catching both sidesteps, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Down 4 seems to catch them walking to the left, and down back 3 catches them walking to their right. So, big things to note so thus far are sidestep Jin to the right. Notice which way they're sidestepping you as Brian, so that you can spam back 1 or low sucker kick more. Okay.
That was dirty. You can't stop.
Alright, he just got hit by the setup, trying to squirm away. Alright, no hit confirm.
He's like, I don't need to hit the top part.
Okay, he noticed that he wasn't blocking low, and he even got counter hit there. Yeah. There again, he just starts a round off by wave dashing at you. This is just like Street Fighter. You really do need to check the dash, because or else he gets to do stupid stuff like that. Okay, goes low, low, frame trap.
Gets himself on the board, making it look pretty good. Mr. Quentin.
Okay, nice punish. There, here you notice that he didn't duck it, which makes you try for it later. But remember that even if you show it to them once and then they think, oh crap, I should have punished that properly, they are more likely to actually punish it properly later, which causes you to lose a round later.
None of that. Oh, he wanted that northern cross so bad.
Oh, nice frame trap. Okay. Okay, I guess persistence wears down the resistance there. He was never pressing buttons there, but now he did. So here he would be a lot more likely to not press buttons because he did finally get counter hit for it.
Oh, he didn't do the right combo, or we could be heading to the wall. Oh,
nice call out. That was a very stupid place to spring kick.
I saw that coming.
Let's see how Quentin adjusts. When he gets flustered and he gets nervous, you're going to see a lot more forward 4s.
I want some throws, though. He hasn't done any, and I think he needs to put him. Saw that coming.
Here.
I saw that coming.
Let's see how Quentin adjusts. When he gets flustered and he gets nervous, you're going to see a lot more forward 4s.
I want some throws.
Here, you either just eat the hell sweep or delay your wake up timing.
He hasn't done any, and I think he needs to put him in there. But what have I been telling everybody in Arizona about them spring kicks? Stop doing it.
I mean, it's the famous Arizona spring kicks. Just what we do.
Okay. it is very hard to actually contest Jin after down back 4 or down 4 because down 4 is -1 on hit. And down back 4 is... how do they do this? Down back 4... +3. So yeah, good job for not getting hit by counter hit 4. But at the same point, he doesn't have too threatening mids from there. At that range, because if you hit from here, only things you really have are, say, forward 4-2, forward 4-3 is way too slow. Down forward 1, if you duck the second hit, they get launched for it, and down forward 1 by itself really isn't that much of a reward. So a lot of Jins do like to just go for magic forward to catch you stepping, down 4 for another low, down back 4 for a chance of counter hitting. So a lot of times it isn't that bad of an idea to low parry after a moment of blocking down back 4. Assuming your back isn't to the wall, because there's that.
No, we don't need to be doing that.
I missed the punish, but that's fine.
When you're in Phoenix and the pavement is 120 degrees, you want to get off there as quick as possible,
I'm
man.
just saying.
The spring kicks just
Right there, I really don't like the core circle back too.
Counter hit again.
It doesn't really
pavement is 120 degrees.
work as Oki.
You want to get off there as quick as possible,
I'm
man.
just saying. Do treading waters. You know what I mean? No spring kicks. Oh, orbital.
Alright, I like that.
So I've
Missed the northern cross.
goes into the option to duck.
Exactly.
So Mr. Quinn should be taking advantage of that.
In Quentin's mind, he's thinking, oh, if I just do the 2-1.
Okay, he's starting to try and bait you up. And now you do lose to the down back 4 to magic 4. Which you saw that he really wasn't going for mids there. He was either just doing this, this, or this.
Trying to move around, walks out. Where's he going? There's nowhere to go. Where's Jin going?
On to the next game.
When you get beat up like that, you should probably take a second. You should probably take a second.
What's interesting about Revengeance since
Okay, nice 3+4.
showed that
Stay select.
And got robbed again.
that's a mistake, man. I think you
Take a
gotta
break.
think about.
When you get beat up like that, you should
I don't remember actually ever seeing this happen
probably take a second.
anywhere else.
The thing about Revengeance since he showed that
Oh,
what the,
what just
excuse me,
happened?
he's ready.
But nice adjustment.
But
Yo,
Okay.
I guess he's
Ooh,
ready.
that was a nice call out.
Right now.
Back one would have been safe there instead of a core slip back 4.
he's ready. But
Yo, I guess he's ready.
But
He knows all the
worked out.
right now.
There, you definitely could have gotten a better wall combo, I'm pretty sure.
could have gotten a bigger wall damage to
He
kill.
could have ended it at the wall, but he still managed to
But nice. Got a lot of momentum.
Exactly. My amigo here just brought up, I haven't seen a single parry out of Quentin. Quentin loves
Okay, right here is by far one of the biggest things about Jin that you need to incorporate into your game plan. After a blocked forward 4, it takes 14 frames for his fastest move to come out. So, if he does this, let's see. So if he does this, a 13 frame move will always interrupt all of his options. Even say the one that sidesteps everything. Again, you don't want to do jabs because some of his options high crush. Okay. Now, an interesting thing is that it's high, it does jail, and because it comes down in 14 frames, and it's the second hit that launches, what you can do is Brian. I guess I messed that up. Technically, this will trade and give you the launch, but there's almost no reason to do that. Just a little FYI. So what you really should be doing after this, after blocking forward, forward, 4. Let's see if I can record this properly. Is either you do need to check them with a down forward too. What they can, a thing they can do is cancel a parry, but I've never actually seen. I've never been able to record in a time where he gets a 2-4 punish. And also, this is kind of hard for them to do. And they can't sidestep this. They can't block and sidestep. So basically, you need to do it to stop them from doing memes like that. Because this should never happen. It's on hits where this becomes a little bit scary. I mean, you can still interrupt the hell sweep, of course, but his 1+2 would then be real. Thing to remember about Jin, though, is that his Zen options, his mid options really aren't that strong. So, if you do have a Zen on hit, it's really not that bad of an idea to just duck and then block mid in time for this. Because Jins do like to go for that.
That parry. He has a huge Excel sheet of all the frame data of things on parry. When he gets a parry, what?
Alright, 2 throw.
Yeah, dude, he's in there.
Okay, this is another big situation about matchup knowledge. Alright. Okay. So say get hit by this, you hold back. This is going to hit you guaranteed, but you can block it after. There are some times where you got hit by this. I'm not sure why, repressing buttons or something. But the way you deal with this is that you tap up, and then you wake up standing, or alternatively you could stand on the ground and get a little punish, but you can't float him for it. Actually, well, because he wanted the option there, if he just does a forward 4, it won't punish. Let me show you that. I mean, sorry, well, punish but won't counter hit. Ay, ay, ay. When I tested this didn't happen. Anyways. Staying on the ground after either of his throws because that was his two command throw. And this is his 1 command throw. If you hold back, same situation. If you tap up, you can also just hold up if you expect him to meaty, but if you just are holding up and he doesn't do a meaty, you'll jump. So it'd be better to just time a tap up. But beware, if you time it late, you might still just get hit back turn. Like that. Alright. So the big thing is that he noticed that you weren't throw breaking, and then on top of that, you didn't know how to deal with the meaty forward 4. And if he lands a meaty forward 4, he gets a substantial mix-up. Well, honestly, not really. It's more that you can't interrupt this. 1-3 really isn't that scary, but it is an option that is kind of safe. Alright. That was really weird. He checked you with the jab there afterwards. Okay, Okay, you know, so you're doing that. I want to check you. So, a tighter frame trap. But forward 3 wouldn't work too well. Maybe just a down forward 2 or sidestep.
Who did he send it to?
Cherry Berry Mango.
Nice. Nice. But like you said, when Mr. Quinn gets flustered, he's a different
Okay,
player.
he's really just spamming grab because he knows that you aren't dealing with it. And because the forward 4 hits, he can just do hell sweep there.
When he's hit unimpeded. So he needs to keep an eye on that and maybe abuse that a little bit.
Yeah, when you land that forward 4 with the
Okay, luckily he didn't get a good wall spot. Thrown again.
Yeah. So on hit, he's getting mix-ups, man.
He almost won this entire game just because he went for a grab again.
He does not care.
That is one way of defending.
Oh, he's got to be doing those knees.
Alright. Right there. Right there. I'm not sure what to punish properly. Maybe just a down forward 2-1, because it looks like he recovers really quickly, and since he was doing low, he still had a low hitbox.
Which is good.
Alright, let's break.
Like they're playing Brian, I'm gonna tech roll every time until you show me you got that taunt. Because he did the taunt and it whipped. So we don't know if it would have been a taunt jet up.
Okay, nice break.
We got no idea if this guy's just clowning,
You know what though?
Mach punch is very good at the ball.
When he whiffed that like 2 in his face.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure this man is about that life. So he needs to make sure, like, hey, I don't want to risk too much, especially right now.
Okay. Nice. He didn't punish that.
No punish on the down forward 2-3.
Okay, there you saw that he ducked, but in the moment it's very hard to notice.
Oh, caught him doing something.
1. Nice, very clean Brian round.
Oh my god. Oh, he should have finished it. Bat just does it.
There, I don't like the back one too much, but it ended up working out. It's a bit slow for that situation and that spacing.
My man has no care.
The first orbital. Exactly. Ooh, big win.
Okay, there I really do not like the jab check because he's been going for Magic 4 after that so much.
Ooh, big win.
But it looks like at that moment he was going for a dash up grab. And he got robbed there. Nice. Another patented Brian defense.
So I want to start putting those hell sweeps out there.
There. I might have actually liked a Northern Cross here, or backdash another Mach punch. There, so they were saying something along the lines of this being a just frame block. I have no clue what they're talking about. You can block this just by pulling it back anytime.
This happens. So I want to start putting those hell sweep in because
right there, low soccer kick. At this point, you saw that he does like to stay on the ground a lot. Something that I like to do sometimes whenever I expect them to be very antsy on wake up is to sidestep left low parry, because when they're on the ground, it'll make the mid whiff and then it'll low parry the low. A little bit harder with Brian because of his dash, so you have to really hit that diagonal.
So I want to start putting those hell sweeps out there.
Exactly. He's eating way too many orbitals too.
Oh,
that is a just frame block. Well, you have 1 frame to block that. It's wild.
What a comeback.
Okay, there he just called you out with the sidestep.
I want to see how he deals with orbital, or if he even brings it. It's wild.
Okay, here he's really abusing 2 pieces of knowledge that you don't know about Jin.
I want to see how he deals with orbital, or if he even
There, that one was kind of real, kind of.
And again, another hell sweep, not even blocked. Not attempt. Oh, counter hit on the low. They're pretty rough.
I want to see how he.
Now that I think about it, after getting hit by a forward 4, a very good option would be to duck jab or northern cross. A duck jab. Mess that up. Alright, so duck jab. Because his mid options really aren't that good. And that'll high crush. So implement that into your defense.
He deals with orbital, or if he even brings it out again.
And again, another hell sweep, not even blocked. Not attempt. Oh, counter.
Alright, nice. Nice. What did he do there that got hit? Because you realize that, well, at this point you see that he is not respecting your plus frames at all. So honestly, Magic 4 wouldn't be too bad sometimes. Even though if the risk reward isn't that good on it. Again, the other piece of knowledge that you don't know about Jin. There, punish.
An electric just to let him know he paid the electric bill. He's just not using it, saving it for later.
Not a lot of electrics. Not a lot.
There, down back 4 does hit both sides. It's inconsequential, but it is better to step to their weak side.
Jin things I'm seeing out of him.
Not very many down back 3s. He is putting the forward 4s out there.
Finally.
Alright.
There it is.
Finally racks to it.
You just gotta read the backsway out of that. It's so obvious when he's
Okay.
waiting so long like that. No duck. And Mr. Quinton.
Okay. So, big takeaways is interrupts forward 4 on block with down forward 2, because jabs will be crushed, 14 frames will trade, but it's not worth it to go for jet upper. Step Jin to your right. Notice which way they're stepping Brian, because if they're stepping right, you can hit them with all the low soccer kicks you want. If they're stepping to the left, back 1 is a lot more consistent. Some quick lows that you can't would be better in your gameplay, like down back 3 or down back 3 or down 4 to get a little more damage. And use them a little bit as homing moves, since this... Actually, what is 1+2 1 startup? There were times where you tried to call out his... I don't remember exactly where, but I do remember you trying to call out a sidestep with a 1+2, but he just jabbed you out of it. 1+2... Oh, wrong one. +2, startup 16. So it's really not that slow. It's pretty fast. But when you're, say, after back 1 on block, if they try to jab you, then honestly down 4 isn't as... It's needed sometimes. It's definitely not the thing that you want to go for first, but it makes them feel restricted. Let's see. Okay. Closing statements. Practice throw breaking. Practice after getting hit by a throw by Jin. Is core circle back 1+3 and down forward 2+3. Tapping up. That will let you block. And then since I put you in the situation where you blocked a forward 4, you can just down forward 2. And there were a lot of funky moments in the set where this last hit didn't hit, or after 3+4, they side switched, where you did just get robbed a little bit. But main things are that he saw you didn't know how to deal with grabs or with this. And if you knew how to deal with those, you most likely would have won the set. And then after those two abusable things, it would be implementing duck jab into your defense. And again, remember, you can press forward after. And get standing moves after. I just checked, and it doesn't let you buffer low soccer kick after, so it is a little bit more limited than I would like it to be. You can do things like that. So yeah, Quentin at some points did play well. He mixed between going complete ape and then baiting out some of your moves and punishing you for it, because he saw that you didn't know how to deal with the defense. He figured that you would be using these two moves a lot. So maybe like some mock kicks would have been good, but the biggest, yeah, that's a little bit adding on after duck jabs and sidestep right. And that's about it.